Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga, bringing you up to speed with the big happenings in politics and in the polity. Let's get to the headlines. Governor of Edo State, Monday Pueblo, says those behind the extrajudicial killings in Uromi will be brought to justice. Visits his Kano State counterpart to commiserate with the affected families. Suspended Governor of River State, Similaye Fubara, assures residents that the ongoing political crisis in the state will bind the people together rather than destroy them. Thanks again for joining us on the program. Happy holidays, because yes, today is still a public holiday here in Nigeria. It started off yesterday, but let's get straight to the business of the day in tracking what's happening in the polity. The suspended governor of River State, Similaye Fubara, has assured the resident that the ongoing political crisis in the state will ultimately strengthen the people rather than weaken them. According to the suspended governor, who spoke when he received Muslim leaders from 20 Islamic-based groups at his private residence in Port Harcourt, some people are bent on causing violence in the state, but it will not be allowed to happen.
This season is a season of love, sharing, and sacrifice. And I want to say that you have come to share with us our pain. You have also come to make a very great sacrifice in the course of our trial. And that sacrifice is this prayer you just offered to us. In our own belief as Christians, we believe that everything that happens, it is the will of God, yes, and for a greater purpose. And I believe too that it is not far from what I heard when Oma said it here. He also explained that everything that starts, it is the wish of Allah and it's for a greater purpose. We, as humans, might feel a bit depressed because of the situation, maybe because of what we are seeing, but we might not understand what is deeper, that is beyond us, that has happened. But in everything, we have decided to give glory to the Almighty God. I want people to understand and know that I came into your period of festival. I also believe strongly that we shall come out stronger. Yes.
All right, that's Similaye Fubara. Let's head to what's playing out in Edo State. In the aftermath of that mob killing in Uromi, in Edo State, the governor, Monday Pueblo, and his entourage have visited the Kano state government to commiserate with them and the families of those who were killed in the state while traveling from Port Harcourt last Thursday. Governor Pueblo was received by his Kano state counterpart, Abba Yusuf, at the government house, who described the incident as tragic. He also informed the Kano State governor that 14 persons have so far been arrested and taken to Abuja for questioning. Governor Yusuf explained that there is need for those who perpetrated the act to be brought to justice.
The delegation of the governor of Edo State arrived in the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, where they were received by the state governor, Abba Yusuf. This visit to Kano State is coming on the heels of the killing of some travelers at Uromi in Edo State last Thursday. From the Malam Aminu Kano Airport, the delegation moves to the Kano Government House. Here, Governor Kwebolo sums up his feelings about the murder of 16 travelers who were killed in Uromi.
I got the information in the night. At 4 a.m., I had already set to travel to Uromi. I couldn't wait to board an aircraft because I needed to be there on time. Your Excellency, I got there, I met my house brothers. When I got there, it was a different ball game. They all dropped their anger. The next thing they could be saying is 4+4. So that is the level of love they have for me and I have for them. Mr. President wasn't happy at all. He didn't waste time. He made no mistake to direct the service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, to go after the killers of these people. Your Excellency, I can assure you that justice will prevail.
For Governor Yusuf, the only way to assuage the pain of the killing is for those responsible to be brought to justice.
We will want to see them physically paraded so that Nigerians and the families could see them to know, yes, they were apprehended. That, Your Excellency, will go a long way in making the families and their own brothers happy.
From the government house, both governors proceed to Toronkawa village in Bunkure local government area to commiserate with families of the victims of Uromi killings. At the end of the visit, both governors appeal for calm and also call on leaders at all levels to always promote peaceful coexistence and the safety of lives and property of citizens.
All right, the very ugly incident in Uromi is layered and it's totally condemnable. But let's look at the very layers of this issue and try to see how we can be brutally honest to ensure this doesn't happen anytime again in our country. We've been joined on the program from our Abuja studios by the Commissioner for Information in Edo State, Mr. Paul Ohobamo. He joins us on the program. Mr. Ohobamo, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Let's use the benefit of having you here, clear the air as to what exactly played out that escalated rather quickly. And now we have murder deaths on our hands as far as that Uromi incident is concerned. From what we hear, they were coming from Port Harcourt. They were stopped at Ubeaja also. They didn't stop. They came to Uromi. Some reports are saying they initially they refused to be searched, or they finally got searched, and there was an initial attack from their end. And it's a mixture of all kinds of stories. But what has played out eventually is the fact that the vigilante got them, but could not manage the crisis such that there was a mob action that led to the death of 16 persons in cold blood. But you're the government, so what exactly is the true picture of things and what really played out?
Thank you very much. Just as you have said, you can see that you are now having cacophony of voices. Various people pushing forward things maybe advantageous to themselves here and there. But eventually culminated in what ought not to have happened. We also heard they were coming from Port Harcourt, going to Kano for their Salah celebration, and they were accosted. And what infuriated people, of course, you know, this thing happened is a culmination of what the Uromi people have always harbored, because they have always complained that I don't want to use Fulani now, that our northern brothers have always, or let's say headers now, have always killed their people, attacked them in farms, kidnapped, raped their women and all. But for me and for the government, that is not enough to take laws into your hands. Because when you say your northern brothers, these people, they are the ones doing it. The ones that are traveling, you cannot conclude that these ones are also attackers, that these ones are kidnappers, and that they saw guns with them. You concluded, they said some attacked them. That was the story, that some even attacked in the course of altercation. attack them. And as you said, the local vigilante couldn't manage the situation. But I think one thing is clear here. When you see, because you have been dealt with in the past, you are driven to desperate solution. You have forgotten that you are governed by laws and that any lawlessness will make you a victim become an offender. This is what has happened now. It is not you don't see anybody that looks like a northerner or who is a northerner and conclude that this is the one that has been committing havoc in the past. It's a situation of, Sinner the poet being killed for this offense of Sinner the conspirator, as we saw it in the book. So this is why the governor is really versed in his spirit and in action, that peace, law and order that he has been, trying to consolidate. Since he resumed as the governor of the state, there has been peace. He has ensured that security is beefed up. This is why he provided equipment, vehicles, and all the means to security agencies. So, as you heard from him, he was in Abuja on official matter. He had to abandon that early morning at 4 a.m. so that to meet with the people and discuss with them. They were happy. Beyond that, you can see the steps too he has taken. Going to Kano, where many of them are from, going to their families, the bereaved families, to talk to them, assuage them. Because what we need now, even from the governor of Kano, is that there should be justice. And that is the essence, because peace is not the absence of war. It is the presence of justice. And this is what Governor Okpebholo said must happen. That the people who committed this offense, this dastardly act, this unholy act must be brought to book. The only thing he has also said, the investigation must be done in such a way that justice must not only be done, manifestly seen to have been done. Of course, you know the IG is now in charge. It's being handled by DIG, the Deputy Inspector of Police, in charge of CID in Abuja, so that all the latent facts, all the hidden issues will be brought out. We must ensure that no innocent person is punished for the offense he did not commit. Because as our criminal jurisprudence puts it, it is better for 1,000 criminals to be set free than for one innocent person to be punished. So this is the situation. We regret what has happened. They have lived together. The Northerners, in Edo State particularly, they own streets. They own anything they want. The brotherliness has been there. So this temporary insanity of a thing, yes.
All right, we're going to backtrack a bit to how things got here, but let's stay with what we're dealing with at the moment. So we understand a number of persons have been arrested. So maybe you confirm to us, we have the record about 16. What exactly is the number of persons that were arrested? Who are these persons that have been arrested? Are they also part of the vigilante group that dropped the ball, or people that actually carried out this quote-unquote lynching to death? Who are those that have been arrested, if you know them?
You know, this kind of arrest is easy to carry out because the process of the dastardly act, what they did, they even recorded it, and I remember even the governor told security operatives, you must also fish out those who have reliable information as to how to get the perpetrators. So when they arrest, they will profile. Through investigation, we know the level of their involvement. But one thing is clear, that 14 people have been arrested, and they will tell us their part in it, because it's not something that will just happen and we say it has happened. It must not fester for long. That is the only way you can ensure peace. That is the only way you can avoid reprisal attack or action from the people. Once they know that, yes, justice has been served appropriately, then I don't think they will go further to wreak any havoc.
All right, Mr.
About 14 persons. About 14, yes.
Mr. Obama, we'll go on a quick break. Just a moment, sir. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, what I mean by backtracking is perhaps this is a situation of traumatized, vengeful Uromi residents carrying out a poorly sent message over the victims of kidnappings that they've been reporting that perhaps they haven't seen enough action. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. We're talking about the Uromi killings that have been condemned across board. We've been joined on the program. Has been with us before the break. Paul Ohobamo is the Commissioner for Information in Edo State. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you, sir, for staying with us. So I told you let's backtrack a little bit. And in your words, you've also talked about the fact that people should not take, sort of resort to self-help. I have seen the way the governor, from his words, listening ears, he said, he got a message very early in the morning. He couldn't wait. He had to move, go visit, and then the next point he was in Abuja. He's been doing a lot of, diplomatic moves to make sure that there's no reprisal attack. So the question is, perhaps the complaint people are having is also the failure on his part or on the government as well to have been, not to have been proactive to even have allowed this to fester to this point. Because from your words, you're saying, they've been complaining about kidnappings and killings. Why hasn't the government responded to the people of Uromi just like it's responding to this? Now, we wouldn't have had these issues on our hands.
No, the truth of the matter is the governor has responded. He has been doing his best. The security operatives have been equipped in such a manner that the 3 senatorial districts, you have given them brand new wheelers vans, giving them equipment, supported them with everything they want. So I don't know, the governor himself cannot just go to the areas, hinterland, to be doing it. It's the work of the security operatives to do all this. I think the issue now with what has happened, it is clear that we need visibility policing. They should do more of all these things. Then again, once a particular offense or infraction is committed, there is the need for that person to be brought to book. The governor has done a lot in the area of security. Since he came, court crisis, killings, and the rest have stopped. Since he came, kidnapping has reduced because they now know what awaits them if they are involved. Since he came, violence has. This is why this one came as a shock to the governor, a man who is very unscathed in licentiousness for evil. He does not like anything that will harass or put pain, to the repose of the conscience of our society. This is why, as he said, he moved at 4 a.m. to Uromi to ensure.
Mr. Obama, my apologies, just
yes.
a moment. So, for people in Uromi, Ubiaja, Irwa, those areas who have constantly been complaining and are still complaining, do you think whatever it is that the governor is saying is going to surface? He's the chief security officer of the state. I'm imagining the reason, unfortunately and sadly and condemnably, you see people with guns and all of that, and this was mismanaged, and now people have died at the end of the day. I'm not sure they just woke up to misbehave and lead to the death of people, and that is condemnable. They will face justice. But I'm saying that they have been perhaps too traumatized because of the failure of government. And you're saying the governor has done enough. How enough has he done that things have happened like this?
When you talk of proximity to a place of crime, in all these places you have mentioned, you have area commands, you have DPOs that are covering all those areas. These people have been supported sufficiently enough to fight crime. It's what I'm telling you. And that is the primary thing the governor must do. Support these people so that they can carry out their work seamlessly. You have DPO, you have area commands everywhere. In all these areas you have spoken of. So this is why I said it is not the governor's fault. He has done a lot. It is just, a slip on the part of the people who carried out this dastardly act, because it has never happened. It's a situation now where you, the victim, you have become an offender because you did not wait, you did not allow the law to take its course. If there was altercation and they are carrying guns, anything, you can arrest them, hand them over to the police for proper investigation, rather than taking the laws into your hands. What I'm saying in essence is that governor has done a lot. No one, this blade cannot be taken to the doorstep, even though you say he's the chief security officer. The security operatives in the areas we are talking about have been well equipped, sufficiently equipped. You can call the commissioner of police, you can call the DP, they know this as a fact. So
Okay.
That is why I'm saying it is not the government's fault.
I'm sure we're going to get word from the commission as far as this is concerned. But let's talk about the vigilante group as to what the government is doing to better train them. They are needed for complementary services, essentially for intelligence gathering broadly, because the police and the rest of them can't do this all by themselves. So we cannot throw away the baby on the bathwater, given this failure that has happened. So what is from where you sit as a government, from the policy directive, will be the next line of action as far as vigilante is concerned, besides suspending anyone who is in charge of all of that?
Yes, the governor, of course, you know the level of intelligence report that goes to the governor. Now, the governor has started the reconstitution, started long ago, immediately he resumed office. The reconstitution of the Edo State Security Corps, which the suspended CP retired, Friday Badin was held in. So the whole thing is to ensure that these things are done in line with normal standards, acceptable standards. Because the governor has said you profile them, train them properly, and so that mistakes of the past do not occur. That's why he has started it. You have a reconstitution of the civil defense, not civil defense now, we call it Edo State Security Network Corps. So the whole thing is to complement the conventional, the statutory security operatives. So it's there, and in all local governments we have them. But the ones that did this, they are the illegal ones, because this is not the kind of training. It's not what the government, wants its security operatives, its security network corps to do. These ones that did it, they are not known to us. That's why the governor said all forms of this illegal carrying of guns, parading yourselves as vigilante, and in the process killing people, committing crimes, that it must stop. This is the,
all right, Mr. Homamu. So let's talk about the next line of action for government. Of course, we know the line of action for those who carried out this very condemnable act to face justice. Let's also talk about what the government intends to do to restore confidence in the people of Uromi, that they will be protected. I say that to say because sometimes what happens is the lack of confidence in government to do the right thing is what people resort to self-help. Let's go back to what happened in Sokoto, the Deborah's death. And what was the charge brought against those people? I think it was a criminal conspiracy and something around public disturbance and not necessarily murder. Yes. And then at the end of the day, what made that case to be struck out in court? Because of lack of diligent prosecution. And this was a murder, clear case murder of that girl. Till today, we haven't gotten closure because of all of this. So on one hand, they must be brought to justice for killing these 16 persons. On the other hand, the people that have been killing them, that this looks like a vengeful act. What has to be done to restore confidence in the people to trust the government to protect them?
The government has already started that process. The protection has been there. The kidnappers that have been terrorizing them, that has reduced a great deal in that axis because of the step the governor has taken. Now, when you talk about that Deborah's issue, is different from this because this is considered high-profile murder case. So much so that a DIG, Deputy Inspector General of Police, is the one handling the investigation, further investigation. I don't think there will be any, slip or any impediment when it comes to prosecution, because the offense is complete on its own without more. And the only thing, just as I said at the beginning, is that no innocent person is worth punishing, because criminal jurisprudence says it is better for 1,000 criminals to be set free than for one innocent person to be punished. That's just it. But as for prosecution, yes, I can tell you that this one will be done well. As for the Uromi people, the protection the governor has been doing, it will continue to provide security for them.
Because
they only disappointed.
Yeah, that's very vital, Mr. Paul. Just before you wind down, killing is killing. Deborah was killed. These 16 people were killed. death is death, and they were killed.
No, I'm talking.
So
no, I'm talking of the. No, I'm talking of the people that investigated. I said this one, the man handling it. I'm talking of the profile. Yes, it's not just one DPO or one inspector or SP. Yeah.
All right, so just in 30 seconds, so what is the state of Uromi right now? Because we hear people have deserted the town over fear of arrest, fear of reprisal. What's happening in Uromi from the intelligence report you have?
Naturally, it will happen that way because what has happened, you know that they believe that the people will carry out reprisal attack, and they have boasted in some social media, handles that they were going to carry out attack. But the step the governor is taking now, and of soothing nerves, of meeting with them, talking to them, and ensuring that justice is done, it will allay the fears, and the people will come back because confidence will come back. And you know that the whole essence of justice is to have confidence in it. They said justice must be rooted in confidence. And confidence is destroyed when right-minded people leave the courts saying, oh, the judge was biased. In this case, I can assure our brothers in Uromi, our sisters, that there is really nothing wrong. They can stay put, security will be guaranteed, and they will be protected. And I don't think reprisal action will happen.
Okay, we hope that this doesn't happen again, and closure must be given to all of this very shameful, condemnable incident that we've recorded on our hands yet again in our nation's history. Paul Ohobamu is the Commissioner for Information in Edo State, joining us from our Abuja studios. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
And that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time and your company. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.